Quick reminder, the world isn't just bad news. While the headlines focus on chaos and doom, some genuinely fascinating and quietly good things are actually happening all over the world. This week alone, scientists mapped the human brain in insane detail. NASA found a planet that looks like an eye, and strangers did small things that meant everything. Let's get into it. Let's start with this, because it is wild. Researchers from Harvard and Google have just unveiled the most detailed map of the human brain ever created. And when I say detailed, I mean ridiculous detail. All of this came from a brain sample the size of a grain of sand, 1 cubic millimeter. Inside that tiny piece, around 57,000 cells, 230 millimeters of blood vessels, and roughly 150 million synapses. The team spent 10 years slicing, scanning, and reconstructing it using advanced microscopes and AI. They ended up with 1,400 terabytes of data, roughly the equivalent of 1 billion books. The researchers even admitted they didn't realize how much data they were creating until it was already too late. This kind of mapping could eventually help us understand neurological diseases, brain disorders, and maybe even how consciousness itself works. All from something smaller than a pinhead. Alright, space always delivers. NASA has spotlighted a planet called LHS 1140b, and people have nicknamed it the Eyeball Planet. It's about 48 light years away, and it's what's known as tidally locked. That means one side of the planet always faces its star, and the other side is permanent darkness. So instead of day and night, you get a frozen side and a scorching side. But right in between, scientists think there could be a massive liquid ocean, which gives the planet this eerie, eye-like appearance. It's also believed to have a thick, nitrogen-rich atmosphere, and water could make up 10 to 20% of its total mass. No, it doesn't mean aliens are waving back at us, but it does mean we're getting very good at finding worlds that could support life. This one feels like a film scene, but it actually happened. A couple in the UK first met on a late night train, the 2309 service from London Euston. Steve offered Payal his seat. They chatted for about 20 minutes or so, just strangers heading home. She mentioned she'd just been on a first date where, luckily for him, sparks hadn't flown. Steve knew he wanted to see her again. By the time she got off the train, he'd already found her dating profile and sent her a message. Fast forward 1 year, to mark the anniversary of that exact journey, Steve contacted the train company. They helped him plan a surprise. As the train rolled through the night, the conductor made a special announcement. That was the cue. Steve got down on one knee on the same service where they first met. She said yes, of course, and the whole carriage erupted. So, if that doesn't inspire you to shoot your shot, I honestly don't know what will. Now, this one starts terrifying. A skydiver in Australia jumped as normal, but his parachute got caught on the tail of the plane. He was left dangling at about 15,000 feet. For several minutes, he was stuck there, relying on training, calm thinking, and a pilot who handled the situation perfectly. He cut away the first parachute, deployed the second, which then got tangled in the remnants of the first. But somehow, he untangled it and managed to land safely. That is composure. Sometimes the good news isn't that nothing went wrong, it's that people handled it well when it did. Trees are exploding. This one sounds fake, but it isn't. During sudden cold snaps, people across parts of the US have been hearing loud bangs in forests, like gunshots. Turns out, the trees can explode. When temperatures drop quickly, water inside the tree freezes and expands, splitting the trunk with a sharp crack. Trees actually protect themselves by dehydrating their cells and increasing sugar levels. It's basically nature's version of antifreeze. It's not dangerous, just another reminder the natural world is doing a lot more than we realize. Alright, very important UK news. Tesco has officially announced its most popular meal deal for 2025, and people have opinions. The Chicken Club is still holding strong. The protein egg pot is back. Boiled eggs in a pot, not sure about that. And Red Bull has officially overtaken Coca-Cola as the top meal deal drink. So let's settle this properly. Mine is coconut water, chicken triple, get more bang for your buck, and of course chicken raiders. It's all about that extra protein. Drop your meal deal in the comments. No judgment at all unless it's a plain ham or cheese sandwich. What's the actual point? Now let's end light. Check out this guy dancing the waltz down a ski slope. It's honestly just incredible. This is what everyone thinks they look like after doing après-ski. When in reality, it's probably more like this. Yeah, that's more like it. No lesson here, just thought this guy was awesome. That's it for this one. No doom scrolling, just genuinely interesting things happening around the world. If you want more stories like this, you know what to do. And if you've seen something good that deserves attention, send it my way.